Welcome to Tangent Time. Today, I'm talking about Alien in the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So, no, why two instead of one? Because, like the topic of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, there is no consistency. so, I watched. I'm trying to work less, fill my cup full of creativity. So I'm just watching random shit. I'll probably be watching Atlantis, the Lost City later today. But today I watched Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And yesterday I watched Alien, the first one. Why? Because I'm playing a D&D campaign of Alien. So I was like, let's watch the movie. And then I remember everyone was shitting on Multiverse of Madness, and I distinctly remember I went into the cinema enjoying it. So I was just like, was it that bad? I rewatched it. I still hold true. It's fun. But then I kind of realized movies are really hard to review or talk about because you can't. Because depending on what media you're watching and what mood you are at that point in time greatly changes how you view the piece of media. Because I've realized if I use that same lens of what I look at Multiverse of Madness as I look at something else, let's say Thor Love and Thunder or even Rings of Power, technically I should find them to be still entertaining, but I don't for different reasons. And it's kind of broadened my horizons. My third eye has been activated. So I guess it's gonna be more of a tangent than usual because it's gonna go all over the fucking place and fits the theme. But first, I want to talk about aliens. There's not actually a lot to talk about. I think it's a great movie. Do I like this movie? Now, here's an interesting thing, right? When people hey, give a score or whatever, or in movie reviews, I think you can think a movie is great, but not like it. I think Alien is a great movie. It is great in so many different ways. And I'll go into a little bit of detail about that. But it is boring to me. And that might just straight up be because my ADHD brain or because the entire plot I've already known and I've seen just movies I've developed throughout the years. So I don't know. It could be a multiple sort of things. The concept and the themes within it are interesting. But to be fair, The Thing I've never seen. So once again, I'm trying to say maybe it's because I watched The Thing and I didn't know anything about it. So walking into it and experiencing it for the first time was amazing. And then me knowing what happens in Aliens. Actually, no. I just don't think Aliens is as good. I won't break down the story, but actually, really quickly, you're working for a corporation. They send you to a place. There's an android that basically has the objective to bring back a specimen of this alien back to Earth for whatever purpose, military, blah blah blah. He succeeds. It winds up killing everyone except for Ripley. That's the plot. It's actually good. It's well written. If you pay attention to all the details that you're watching throughout this entire film, you get rewarded. It's very well written. The characters all feel real and relatable. Them doing what they do makes all sense. For me personally, it might just be because of that era of film cinematography. It feels dragged out. Scenes are held for really long periods of time. Now, the reason why I didn't get as it felt okay, so when you're playing a board game, they come random tangent, but when you're playing a board game, there's certain board games where you just, if there's 8 people, you're like, I fucking don't want to play because I have to wait 14 minutes while people twiddle their fucking thumbs trying to find the most optimal way to do something before it becomes your turn. So sometimes there are games where every single time a person chooses to do an action, it changes what you're going to do. And there's not enough randomness that it completely fucks with that. So you're actively kind of paying attention to what everyone else is doing, and that theory crafting in your mind while you're watching it is the fun. Comet, Blood Sands, or whatever is one of those games where I'm always interested in what people are getting, or if they got something that I wanted, and so I'm always paying attention to what's happening on the board. That's good game design. So in The Thing, with the monster, like, I don't know which one of these people. So even if there's long periods of time in between shots and stuff like that, I'm still thinking, is he the Thing, or is that the Thing, or spoilers for everything, by the way, but regardless, it makes, like, you keep on thinking about what in Aliens. For me, I know that that thing is going to probably kill people. There is no question. I'm just waiting. It's just suspense, but just continuous suspense. So when it happens, I'm like, which is weird because I could use that exact same argument for The Quiet Place, but I still love that movie. I'll probably have to rewatch that movie to see if I still have to hold the same opinion. But I don't know. Like, reviewing all these movies has really made me kind of like reevaluate how I interpret stories and like view media. Kind of like in the lens of a director, I guess. Not that I make movies or I have any of the skills to be able to talk to them on that level, but it has definitely been an eye-opening experience. But yeah, I will say the theme of the alien. There's a lot, like, the world is very grounded, but because it's so grounded, also I don't know how the fuck, like outside of me knowing that predators and like Prometheus and all this sort of shit exists. Just looking at this movie, just from this, I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's just like, there's an alien that tries to kill people. What is the alien? Where is the alien? What's gonna happen to the fucking spaceship full of aliens? Is the corporation gonna send more people over there? Why do they want the alien? How did they know about the alien? None of these questions are answered. And from what I vaguely remember about the other movies, it doesn't get much better. I feel like the story just kind of goes into the shitter. I think 2 becomes an action flick, which probably I enjoy more. But I do dislike, complete random. I love in The Thing, it's a organism that can spread like a virus and infiltrate everything without needing to protect anything else except for itself. It is very, it is self-motivated. So for me, this alien creature, just this egg, as long as one survives, it spreads. But you don't get to see more of these face huggers coming out or anything. I'm just under the presumption that this thing puts eggs into people. It's just what it does to populate. I think in 2, they decided to put in the concept of a mother. And I was like, why? That makes it so less scary. It's like, hey, if I kill the queen ant, then they're just fucked. But if at least one, but in the alternate like way of thinking about it, if at least one of these fuckers survive, we're always on edge. We're always tense. You see what I mean? Like, I don't know why the director of number 2 did what he did, but like, fuck, I think it was a really stupid decision. Anyways, Alien's cool. I vaguely remember seeing like a ocean documentary with the alien face going around. I think that was the thing. My friend loves this movie, and it's just like, oh yeah, the design for it was basically like, I wanted it equally to be able to like kill you or fuck you. I'm just like, what? I don't know if anyone actually said that or not, but I'm like, fair. I think the idea of this alien impregnating a man caused like visceral horror in men, and I'm like, fair. Got nothing much to say to that. This is just stuff that I hear down the grapevine. It's because I was playing D&D with this. But yeah, the characters are good. Plot is actually really, really tight. The suspense is good. Feels a bit too drawn out, but that's probably because it's just the era like I'm living in. It's just very, and then that era they like hold things for long and you think, but the issue is that there is no real suspense because I know you're just dead. Not because I know that you're going to die, because just what else is the story going to do? If the alien doesn't kill you, then he's a pathetic fucking alien. The alien does kill you, well, I already knew that it was going to kill you. The journey there wasn't as entertaining. The air shaft thing, like entire, like it's there, it's there, it's there. I'm like, it's there. It's probably gonna kill you. Where is it? It's I'm just like, I just don't care. So yeah, overall, I think it's a great film. I think it's like really, really well shot. I think it's for its time especially. I think the dialogue is good, characters good, threats good, suspense overall is good for me personally. It's just like, I'm also the first segment. It's the intrigue, and this is where I really, really do think that it's because I already know that it wasn't as good for me, which I feel like on second or third views it should make me more interested in it. But I guess I don't. I really do not know. This tangent time thing isn't for me to basically say I'm a fucking genius and no shit. It is literally me just talking shit. And it's just the first segment is so goddamn boring. It's a lot of world building, a lot of questions, and it's actually what I usually want in a movie, but it's the first time that I've seen it that I didn't necessarily enjoy it. It doesn't tell me anything. It just shows me, and I piece everything together. I think the issue that I have is that I just find it boring. Maybe that's why? I don't know. I just find it to be boring. The first segment I'm just like, alien. Oh, now it's just gonna kill everyone. that was just my experience with Alien. Probably watch 2 at some point. Maybe not now. Maybe not ever. But yeah, good movie. Great movie. I find it personally to be boring as fuck. Probably won't want to watch it again. Unless I'm trying to, I don't know, if I become a director and it's like, you're gonna make Alien 15. I'm like, sure, why not? I'll watch through all the movies and see what I can get. But Steven Universe, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. I like the movie, but I will address something. In a lot of TV shows, or like, they try to really nail down lore. Reason why that my criticisms towards Lord of the Rings do not apply here is because Tolkien spent a lifetime crafting this universe of his, retconning himself and trying to make the most cohesive, great story about good versus evil, and like how the great nations of the UK or wherever came to fruition in a fantasy type setting. There is a deep depth of knowledge and wealth of knowledge and characterization and dialogue and world building that is already present, and it is great. It is fucking glorious. It is difficult probably to translate it, but it's a lot more easy than a lot of different sort of like pieces of media out there. I hated Rings of Power because it basically did some of the most boring fucking generic fantasy shit you possibly could do, and fucking fail at it too. Like, some people love this show. You can absolutely fucking love it. I feel like every like second or third video is me shitting on Rings of Power. It hurts me. I bitched nonstop about Star Wars New Trilogy, and I bitched nonstop about the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones for years. It's going to take a while for the sting to disappear. But yeah, like, they just did nothing fucking like. So, like, once again, if you take out the old Lord of the Rings and just say Rings of Power is a generic fantasy, I'd be like, okay, that was mid. Don't care about it. I would never want to watch it again. It was boring. The concepts and themes were boring. The shots were sometimes pretty, but everything else was stupid. I just, why do I fuck it? Like, what? Southland is just like 20 people. Why is the entire nation mobilizing over 20 fucking people? There's a level of disbelief. Like, here's the thing. They're trying to be serious. This is kind of what I want to talk about. The reason why I brought it up, because in Multiverse Madness, nothing fucking makes sense if you think about it. It absolutely doesn't make any fucking sense. Wanda's power. She's a god. How can she lose? Doctor Strange, he's fucking a god too. You have 2 gods fighting against each other. How do you stop a magician just going like this and blowing your brains out? Wanda clearly can just do that to like make his mouth disappear, fucking Agent Smith style, for Matrix. Why bother with all the theatrics? She can just go, everyone dead. She can just go, the reality collapse. But that would be boring to fucking watch, right? So they amped the shit up, but then you're just like, why the fuck are we watching this? This is so pointless. Based off the rules that you have given to me, this shouldn't be happening. I absolutely fucking second this agenda. But the difference is that Rings of Power has brought no fucking interesting ideas. Just copy different realms of fantasy, nothing fucking original, and then shit on the lore, and then just do nothing with it. It's just continuous. Will this be a character? It's just it's just lazy writing. At least Multiverse of Madness throws some interesting emotional fucking story beats. Wanda wanting to be a mother, not losing a loved one, being a god, and not able to deal with that grief, decides to take other people or other versions of herself's children so she can be a mother, although trying to justify to herself that she is a good person. That is an interesting motif. That is an interesting thing to look at. Honestly, it's pretty good. Did that functionally retcon nearly fucking anything that the TV show did? Perhaps. But at this stage, I watch Marvel not for the actual good writing, but for the clusterfuck of what sort of train wreck, dumpster trash fire can I watch and see. And at least if it is fun and entertaining, I'll give you a thumbs up. Multiverse of Madness is exactly that. It is just stupid, dumb, but fun, and just weird concepts just strewn together, fucking TikTok style, slap in your face, one after another. And you're like, I don't understand what I saw, but it was kind of cool. And this is most certainly one of those movies where when people like, it was great, I liked this. Like, you are a dumb fuck for liking that, you imbecile. This is one of those movies where someone calls me a dumb fuck imbecile. How could you like it's garbage? I'm like, it's fair. I'll wear my stupid cap and be like, I liked it. This is purely that movie. I like the Wonder motif about the mother stuff. I like Doctor Strange. His entire thing about ego and his arrogance, and how in every other universe he is literally the biggest problem that is always going to be the center of. He's the center of the universe for everything. He causes all the fucking problems. That's interesting. Just like him having to face his ego and like the arrogance, and then letting go, no longer holding the knife. Like, that's a fun story, but it's very emotional, and regardless of the makes sense of the power scaling, which I will just say, the magic motif. Actually, I'll go into this later. But if you take out the magic and the dumb shit that comes related to the magic, the actual story is fun. It literally is a story about two egotistical people that say, I'm always right. Everyone else is wrong. I have the power of a god to go through the actions that I want to, and I can justify whatever the fuck I want to myself. Wanda has no one to talk sense into her. And at the end of the day, the only one that can actually stop her are the very children that she wants to protect. As she tries to says, I'm not a monster, and then comes to finally, cutting through the grief, I am a monster. She defeats herself, which honestly I think is the best way a god type character can be defeated. They shouldn't be defeated because they're like not powerful enough, which I'll say they did good. Although outside of a few situations, but once again, power scaling, weird, wonk, magic, whatever. But outside of that, they did pretty good. She destroyed herself. That's what a god should do. Doctor Strange's entire thing also, going through and like letting go of the knife. Realize, although it's a bit stupid, because if he did fail, then the entire universe was probably going to be destroyed. And that he basically left a megalomaniacal fucking god take over everything. Which I'll say, this movie is a tonal fucking whiplash, what the fuck, but just, like I said, this my criticism for like any other movie would basically make this movie absolutely dog shit, but I like it, so I'm justifying everything. Okay, just sweeping it to the side. I know how hypocritical I'm coming off, but yeah, his entire thing of letting go of the fucking knife to give the America, whatever her name was, a chance, and giving her like a pep talk, push in the right direction, rather than not trust her and trust in himself, holding the knife to basically do the big decision, make the hard decision that no one else can. And I think at the core, that's a pretty nice story beat. Good little story arc. Now, once again, I did talk about this. There's just so many movies, like moments of the thing that if you start thinking, it's like, fuck. It's like, okay, Scarlet Witch is coming. What are your bows going to do? The entirety of Kamatad is going to fight you. I was like, with your fucking bows? You're gonna like enchant that shit with magic against the Scarlet Witch that can annihilate fucking universes? Other universes that probably contain a Kamatage? What? I'm gonna continue in the mirror universe, but Scarlet Witch still no give a fuck. She can basically dreamwalk through alternate universes. She basically becomes a I don't even want to know. Like the entire like fighting the Illuminati, which once again it was kind of funny and stupid at the same time, but regardless, like fighting the Illuminati, and then she just does that to the Bolt dude where his mouth disappears, like Agent Smith, and then she decides to take her time. This is the thing that fucking makes me weird. Killing Mr. Fantastic or whatever, so he becomes like spaghetti. I'm like, that's creative. And then she decides to like 1v1 like female Captain America and then female Captain Marvel, which will also say it's okay. I was like, oh, she's on screen. Man, this is fucking stupid. I'm like, why? Why are you fighting? You're a god. Just do this. Because she's trying to be kind? This is me being nice? Not deleting you from the universe and just torturing you like a fucking lab rat for a couple of minutes before I just crush you? Also, why the fuck would Captain Marvel, that can fly through fucking spaceships and blow up star freighters, be able to get crushed by a fucking like I said, you sit down and think. None of this makes any sense. After a point, I just like shut my brain. It's like, these cool go boom boom. I do like the like. Here's the thing. Most times, the tonal shifts I usually will not like, especially when the story's trying to be serious. I think the reason why I let this movie off the hook because it is, weirdly enough, the Marvel comedy in here kind of works because they're going for a super dark, broody fucking theme into haha funny. Then what the fuck I'm watching. In a bowl of I don't know what I'm watching. But it's still fun. A lot of people hated on the magic scene. I was just like, wait, is this motherfucker gonna use notes as daggers? And then they have a music battle playing like Mozart or like Beethoven symphonies against each other. I'm just like, it's kind of creative. It's pretty stupid. Or he's like, the entire like that was a tonal shift. He's just like, oh yeah, who said he had to be alive when he was doing the dreamwalk sequence, and then he just grabs the fucking souls of the dead to make a fucking undead cave and fly to fight the Scarlet Witch. And once again, why does the Scarlet Witch feel affected by the souls of the undead? I feel like after the amount of genocide you've committed, you probably have done magic and already have used the comic, like the book, dark book, whatever. Like, don't think about it. It's just dumb fun. You're watching zombie Doctor Strange fighting from a different, like, who's basically puppeting this zombie from a different universe, while fucking the chick from Notebook is air blasting fucking souls while she's fighting the Scarlet Witch, who is functionally a god, while trying to sacrifice a girl with multi-dimensional powers so that she can have a loving relationship with her two boys that she never gave birth to, but a different multiverse version of herself did by taking over her mother's body. I want that entire sentence to sink in for a second of how fucking stupid it is. But it kinda, if you shut off your brain a little bit, it does kinda work. And I'll end it there. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And it's still one of those movies that I'll probably come back to watch. Doctor Strange 1 I liked a lot as just a movie. I'd watch that. This I'd also watch if I'm drunk. It's just fun. It's so stupid but fun. And people that were like, "Oh shit," I honestly do think they're just burnt out from Marvel. There's this extreme Marvel burnout, and they was like, "What the fuck is this?" Blah blah blah. Don't get me wrong, Eternals was such a fuck. It's not even bad. Like you can get drunk and watch it with popcorn. It's just insultingly bad. It is so fucking bad. Holy fuck. Multiverse of Madness isn't that. It's got a lot of fun, interesting, dumb themes. And it was entertaining. Sometimes like there was a thing where they're like going through different fucking universes, and I was like, "Am I watching that like commercial when you go to the movie theater when they're like doing the water into ice, into fire, into steel, into space, into nature? Like you know when they switch over, like all those wacky transitions. You're like, whoa! And it's like IMAX or something. You're like, that's kind of cool. And they just did it concept theme wise. Like I said, some of the scene changes, transitions, angles, tone, music. Yes, yeah, it was just like a mixing pot of whatever the fuck I wanted to, and it was just fun to kind of just watch the chaos happening. And with the title "Multiverse of Madness," I think he did a good job. Whoever the guy was that made the Spider-Man, Sam Raimi or whatever. But yeah, it's good. Alien also good. Didn't like it. Oh, scratch that. I liked it. I have no interest in watching again because it's kind of boring. Bah! I'm done. Bye.